Tonight, we begin with a development that tech insiders, policy experts, and senior advocacy leaders had celebrated prematurely, dismissed entirely, and warned about for months. A story that unfolded not over years or even months, but in a single news cycle. A single news cycle that sent seniors across the country rushing to their phones. A single news cycle that lit up Facebook groups, retirement forums, and nursing home bulletin boards like wildfire. A single news cycle that proved once again how dangerous misinformation becomes when it targets the most vulnerable among us. What the viral post claimed crossed a line that fact-checkers and elder protection advocates had hoped the public would be smart enough to question. And when that line broke, when millions shared it before asking a single question, the truth did not hesitate. It responded with clarity, urgency, and a warning that every senior and every family member of a senior needs to hear. For several months now, there had been signals, not official government memos, not Tesla press releases, just signals, that Elon Musk and Tesla were preparing something genuinely unprecedented in the robotics space. Tesla has been ambitious, yes, but they have been methodical in their ambition. Their moves have followed a certain rhythm, a cadence, almost a predictability. But what set off alarm bells in senior communities and social media watchdog circles this season was that the rhythm went silent. Researchers who monitor viral health and tech misinformation know the indicators. The sudden spike in Facebook shares among users over 65. The reposting of graphics with official-looking government logos. The use of phrases like act now, limited time, and government funded. The sudden silence from legitimate sources who would normally confirm such a program. All of that went quiet on the verification side. And whenever misinformation goes quiet on the verification side, it means something is about to get very, very loud on the sharing side. Early in the viral cycle, social media monitoring organizations detected what they described as a coordinated misinformation campaign, including fabricated graphics featuring the Tesla logo alongside Social Security Administration branding that had not been seen circulating in this particular form in over 18 months. These are the kinds of posts and shared images that bad actors only deploy when they are signaling something very specific. Financial scam infrastructure being built, data harvesting designed to target seniors, or brand impersonation to exploit trust in Elon Musk's public profile. Digital safety observers didn't know which category this fell into, or whether it fell into all three at once, but what they did know was that a new wave of tech-based senior fraud was changing tactics. And when fraud schemes shift tactics without explanation, even by a small measure, every protection agency, every elder law attorney, and every adult child with an aging parent pays attention. The posts spreading across platforms claimed one thing loudly and clearly. The United States government, in partnership with Tesla and Elon Musk, is offering the $20,000 Optimus robot, Tesla's humanoid robot, completely free to qualifying seniors. The image looked official, the language sounded authoritative, and the promise? It sounded like a miracle. That is exactly the problem. The response issued by consumer protection advocates and technology journalists was not normal. It was not routine. It was not symbolic. It was urgent. Fact-checker after fact-checker described the Tesla Bot Senior Program claim as entirely fabricated, dangerously persuasive, and perhaps most importantly, perfectly engineered to exploit the trust seniors place in Elon Musk and in government programs they have relied on their entire lives. But a scam only works if the target hesitates to verify. Millions did not verify. They shared. In fact, the speed of this particular misinformation spread was among the fastest we have seen targeting the senior demographic in the social media era. Here is what we know. Within hours of the original post going live, multiple independent fact-checking organizations flagged the content as false. These weren't ordinary corrections buried in small print. These were direct platform labels, agency warnings, and consumer alert bulletins, the kinds of tools that agencies only deploy when they believe the financial and personal safety of a vulnerable population is at genuine risk. Tonight, multiple verified sources confirmed that there is no government program, no Tesla initiative, no Elon Musk Foundation, and no federal agency offering the Tesla Optimus robot, or any version of it, free of charge to seniors. Full stop. Let us be very clear about what Tesla's Optimus robot actually is. The Optimus, also known as the Tesla Bot, is a humanoid robot that Tesla has been developing as part of its broader AI and automation strategy. It is currently in early development and testing phases. As of the most recent publicly available information, Tesla has suggested the eventual retail cost could be in the range of $20,000 to $30,000. But this is a projected figure for a product that is not yet commercially available to the general public, let alone offered free through any government program. There is no partnership between Tesla and the Social Security Administration. There is no executive order authorizing robot distribution to seniors. There is no application portal, no eligibility form, no government hotline. What there is, however, is a sophisticated social engineering scheme designed to do one or more of the following. Collect your personal information, including your social security number, bank account details, or Medicare ID. Charge you an application fee, shipping fee, or processing charge for a robot that will never arrive. Gain access to your email, phone number, or home address for future targeted fraud. They hit seniors with fixed incomes who dream of independence. They hit adult children exhausted by caregiving who dream of relief. They hit people who trust that something with a government logo must be real. In other words, these scammers targeted the most emotionally and financially vulnerable point of intersection in American family life. And here is where the story becomes even more revealing. Security analysts now believe that this particular campaign was designed to test the appetite of senior audiences for technology-based government benefit schemes, specifically in the wake of increased public trust in AI and robotics following years of mainstream media coverage of Tesla and Elon Musk. The fraudsters wanted to see whether seniors would pause and fact-check before sharing, but instead, the opposite happened. Many seniors and many of their well-meaning family members did not pause. They shared enthusiastically because the promise was simply too good, too timely, and too aligned with things they genuinely need. You do not get the attention of a population hungry for solutions to loneliness, mobility challenges, and daily assistance easily. But today, this scam did. Digital fraud specialists, speaking with elder law and consumer protection media under anonymity, described the Tesla bot scheme as a trust hijacking, a way to borrow the credibility of a globally recognized brand and redirect it toward personal data extraction. But an informed public proved today that they remain both suspicious and resilient when they have access to the right information. The best responses were not only fast, they were precise, targeting the exact emotional triggers the scam had exploited and replacing false hope with real facts. That precision matters because it shows something important. It shows that the antidote to misinformation is not just denial. It is a better story, told truthfully. It shows that the senior community is not a passive victim. They are an active, powerful audience that deserves honest, accurate information delivered with respect. As reports continued coming in, we learned more about the reach of this particular campaign. Facebook groups dedicated to senior benefits saw the post shared thousands of times within the first 48 hours, forcing moderators to pin correction notices at the top of their feeds. Community forums on platforms like Reddit and Nextdoor saw the claim circulate in neighborhoods where it was discussed as legitimate until community members flagged it. Fraudulent websites mimicking official government portals were reportedly created to collect applications from seniors who believed the program was real. This was not just a viral rumor. This was not just a harmless misunderstanding. This was an organized predatory operation. This was elder financial fraud in a technologically sophisticated new form. And elder financial fraud is the one thing that costs American seniors billions of dollars every single year, a number that has only grown since the mainstream adoption of social media among the over 65 demographic. For every digital safety advance we have made, fraudsters have countered with something that exploits new technology and new cultural trust faster than protections can keep pace. Remember, scammers once claimed the government was giving away free cell phones to seniors through fabricated Obama phone programs. They claimed Medicare was issuing free genetic testing kits at your front door. They claimed Social Security was about to be suspended unless you called an urgent government number immediately. But tonight, the exact opposite of what they hoped is happening. Awareness is spreading faster than the scam itself. Families are calling their elderly relatives with warnings before the scam can reach them. Platforms are labeling and suppressing the content with greater speed than in previous cycles. What makes this moment so urgent and so important is that this campaign arrived at a time when older Americans are under extraordinary financial and emotional pressure. Fixed-income seniors want relief from the rising cost of living. Isolated elderly individuals want connection, assistance, and the dignity of independence. Caregiving families want something, anything, that could help their aging loved ones. Working adults in the sandwich generation want a solution that doesn't require them to choose between their parents and their careers. The scammers are balancing these demands with a single irresistible promise. And when people in that position encounter a promise that seems to solve everything at once for free, they are not doing the math. They are doing the hoping. They are operating from need. They are operating from vulnerability. The Federal Trade Commission's Consumer Alert Framework, now distributed across digital platforms and senior advocacy networks, was designed to signal that the FTC is not willing to allow unchecked exploitation of seniors through technology-based fraud. Officials noted plainly that fabricated programs like this are inconsistent with how federal benefit programs are administered and announced. That is careful language for no real government program works this way. If you did not hear about it from an official.gov source, treat it as a scam. You do not usually hear that level of urgency from federal agencies unless something serious and widespread is already underway. Meanwhile, Tesla's own public communications have made no mention of any senior assistance program tied to the Optimus robot. Elon Musk has said of the Optimus program that it is designed for industrial and commercial automation first, with consumer applications as a long-term goal. He has said, Tesla's intention is eventually to make robotics broadly accessible, but that timeline is years away. And every legitimate technology journalist has confirmed, there is no program, there is no partnership, there is no free robot. These are not caveats. These are not technicalities. These are the words of a company and an industry that understands just how much damage misinformation causes when it attaches itself to their name without permission. Here is what makes the situation even more concerning. This campaign was not isolated. Alongside the Tesla bot claims, separate but related schemes also circulated. Fabricated AI companion giveaway programs claiming seniors could receive free voice assistant devices loaded with personalized AI features, all requiring a small registration fee. Fake Medicare AI upgrade notices claiming seniors needed to provide their Medicare number to opt in to a new AI-managed benefit system. Phishing emails impersonating AARP claiming that members had been selected for a technology independence grant. All of this happened within the same 2-week window. When coordinated fraud campaigns move multiple vectors at once, it means something larger is underway. A sustained, systematic targeting of the senior demographic using artificial intelligence and robotics as bait. Analysts are now considering several possibilities about what comes next. One is that these campaigns become more sophisticated, using AI-generated video of Elon Musk or government officials announcing programs that never existed. Another is that scammers are attempting to build massive databases of senior contact information for long-term exploitation across multiple fraud schemes. A third possibility, the one worrying protection officials the most, is that some seniors have already paid fees, shared personal information, or granted account access, and may not yet know they have been compromised. But today, awareness took that card off the table for many. People did not stay silent. They shared the correction as loudly as they had shared the original post. They called their parents, they flagged the content, they demanded platforms act. What we are watching now is a test of community resilience. Scammers want to see whether the speed of misinformation can permanently outpace the speed of truth. Informed citizens want to show that a connected, vigilant public is the best protection any senior has. Consumer protection agencies want to prevent the erosion of digital trust among a generation that is only now fully arriving on social platforms. And elder advocacy organizations want to prevent the financial devastation that follows when that trust is successfully broken. Tonight, we have heard from organizations monitoring senior-targeted fraud who are now tracking new variations of the Tesla bot claim emerging across multiple platforms. They say the graphics are becoming more convincing, incorporating better fake government seals and more realistic-looking application portals. They say the language is becoming more emotional, now incorporating testimonials from fake seniors describing how the robot changed their life. And they say this campaign's decision to target robotics specifically is likely part of a broader strategy intended to exploit the cultural moment, a time when AI and robots feel simultaneously futuristic and inevitable, making extraordinary claims feel just barely plausible. But the truth is not retreating. In fact, the truth is accelerating. Its response today, like fast, specific, and widely shared, sent a message to these scammers that the senior community is not easy prey. And it sent a message to every platform, every regulator, and every family that vigilance is the only product worth distributing for free. As the weeks go on, we expect more details to emerge about the full scale of who was targeted, what data was collected, and whether any coordinated criminal network is behind this particular campaign. But what we do know is that the early public response was timely. It protected seniors who might otherwise have submitted personal information. It created a public record of correction that platforms can use to suppress future variations. And it reminded every family with an aging loved one that the most important technology they can offer is not a robot. It is a phone call, a warning, and a conversation. What happens next will depend on what these fraud networks do in the next news cycle. If they retreat and retool, this moment will be remembered as a rare victory for truth in the age of viral misinformation. If they escalate, every protection agency, every advocacy group, and every informed family member has already shown they are ready. They have shown they are ready to respond. And tonight, for the first time in this particular campaign cycle, the scammers appear to be recalibrating. The viral momentum has slowed. The corrections are outpacing the shares. And when a fraud campaign slows down, it means they are regrouping. It means they are choosing their next disguise carefully. Because tonight, these bad actors learned something, even as they learn it again and again. Seniors are not gullible. They are targeted. The difference between those two things is everything. And the people who love them are watching. This story is far from over. But tonight, one thing is clear. There is no free Tesla bot for seniors. There never was. The only thing being given away for free in this story is misinformation. And the cost of believing it is very real. And we will be here watching every detail as the next phase unfolds.